Welcome to the Metro Card Club. 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 Welcome to the Metro Card Club.
Welcome to day two of the 5 million guaranteed Metro Walk to a Million 100 1,339 players. That's the total entries for this fourth Metro Major of the year. And out of that 1,339, we are down to the last 26 players. And we are bringing to you our featured table. There's three remaining tables for tonight. And one of those tables is now in our featured TV table. And we will give you the lineup of these players. We have at seat one with 575,000 in chips is Ireneo Havala. Seat number two is Bolair with 385,000. Seat number three, Carlos Cortez with 1,915,000. Seat number four is Renato Pacaira with 585,000. Seat number five is Jasper David with 1,685,000. Seat number six is Martin Vega with 300,000. Seat number seven is AJ Akdal with 2,725,000 in chips. Seat number eight is Anthony Castro with 2,220,000 in chips. And seat number 9 is Joseph Talamayan with 1,650,000. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will be your caster for this evening. My name is Chester Intia as we see the second hand of this featured table being dealt. This is just our featured table. This is not yet the final table. Day 2 will play down to the last 18 players, or if we reach level 32. We are currently at level 26. The blinds at 25,000, 50,000. Big blind ante of 50,000. The average stack right now is 1,275,000. As we see the very aggressive Jasper David raising it at an early position with ace 7 off. It's folded down to the dealer's button. That's Ireneo Havala. And no caller for Jasper David, taking down that uncontested pot. As you can see also, ladies and gentlemen, now at every major tournament here at Metro, when it reaches this stage, the last 3 tables, the shot clock is now being introduced. So all these players are given an initial 30 seconds to act on their hands. If that is used up, they can use one of the 4 time cards given to them. AJ Akdal, Anthony Castro, Joseph Talamayan, also not interested that, and Ireneo has ace jack off, folded to him at the cutoff. And Ireneo decides to just shove it all pre-flop. And at the big blind is Rene Pacaira with Queen 9 off. That's not a hand that he wants to call an open shove with. So Ireneo taking down that pot, those blinds rather. Let's go to our live stream viewers. Let's give some shout outs to Alvir, the Innocentes. Shout out to you. Gab Marcelino. And Andy Abundo is railing for Rene Pacaira here. Of course, aside from these 9 players you are watching in our TV table, there are 17 more players in the other 2 tables. So The prize pool reaching over 6 million with the champion set to take home 1 million, more than 1 million in cash prize. And once again, Ireneo with a hand that he will probably again shove with. He shoved with ace jack off just in the previous hand. Now he has a better hand, ace queen. There you go. There's the signal to the dealer announcing he's all in. Lean Bolair quickly folds his ace six off. It's down to Jasper. Jasper by default has a wide calling range, but not this time. And if you're watching this live stream and have also played this Metro Major, share with us here in the comment section the hand that you busted out with. I busted out with a 6-8 suited. I hit my two pairs on the turn versus a set of aces. So early out for me in this tournament. Tony B, Anthony Castro with ace 7 suited. He's gonna open with this hand. He raised it 2x, 2 BBs. The current blind's 25,000, 50,000. Mark Baisa, featured table lang to ng main event. Featured table, hindi siya final table. Featured table lang to. This is the main event, last 3 tables. And it will stop pagka dumating na tayo sa last 18 or last 2 tables. And that last 18, babalik sila tomorrow to play for the final day. Lean Bolair with ace jack off, but he is facing a raise from Anthony Castro. Can Lean Bolair shove with his hand here? She has to worry also with the other players to act behind him. There you go. She announced she's all in for 280,000. All right, Martin Havalero. Sorry, Martin Vega looking at his ace 8-5 off. Not really sure what he's thinking about, but as expected, he folded. Tony B is only being asked to put in an additional 180,000. He is sitting at over 2 million in chips. Asking to double check the count of the stack that Lean Bolair shoved with. And Tony will make the call. So Lean Bolair has put her tournament life on the line, although she's happy to see that she dominates the ace 7 suited of Anthony Castro. But still, anything can happen here. All right. The flop is ace high. Both players hitting it, but Lean has the better kicker. Only a 7 can win this for Anthony. And there's the 7. Oh my God. A quick stint at the TV table for Lean Bolair. She exits the tournament. Magandang gabi sa'yo, Alex Taneo. Mabuhay ang Team de Camps. At ayan, binas out ni Anthony Castro si Lynn Bolair. Lynn, despite having a dominating hand of ace-jack against the ace-7 of Anthony, however, a 7 landed on the river. So Anthony giving Anthony his 2 pairs against the top pair of Lynn. And Kuya Edward Dam. Magandang gabi sa'yo, Kuya Edward Dam of Pilipinas Poker. Railing for their longtime member, Carlos Cortez. Rene Pacaira shoves with pocket fives. AJ Agdal, that's a big blind. He's holding an ace, but with a weak kicker, so did not make the call. Larry Boy de la Cruz from Cagayan Valley. Shout out to you. Pipao, Juan Paulo de la Peña. Kane Reyes is railing for Anthony Castro. At ang pinakamabait na tao na pokeristang kilala ko, Jaja Leoncio, is railing for AJ Akdal, a fellow billiard player. AJ have been performing well dito sa ating tournament circuit ever since he decided na mag-focus sa paglalaro ng poker at iwanan sandali ang mundo ng bilyar. Sabi ni Pipaw ni Juan Paulo de la Peña, kay Jasper David daw siya. Wag lang tatamaan at babalapin kasi mabilis uminit ang ulo. Eto, Carlos racing with Queen Jack off. And no defense coming from the big blind. And we continue the action. Mga kaibigan, ito po, hindi pa to final table ha. This is just the featured table which is a common practice kapag ka major tournament dito sa Metro Card Club. So day 2 ngayon, mayroong 188 players na tumawid out of the 1,339 na naglaro. At ito si Carlos Cortez. He's gonna open at an early position with ace-3 suited. Sabi ni Brian Monterde, go AJ, tropa ko yan. Doc Jeric Medina, magandang gabi sa'yo. Hindi pa to final table, featured table lang to. Itong ating day 2, ang final day bukas pa, Monday. Basta major tournament ng Metro, laging Monday ang final day niyan. Pero pagka ganitong day 2, nagla-livestream tayo pag umabot ng last 3 tables. So ngayon currently, ang remaining players nasa 24 pa. Ayan, nasa upper left corner ng inyong screen. Yung tournament information natin, makikita ninyo. Shoutout sa aking kuya, Kuya Zardy Putoy Rivera. Sabi ni Pipa Juan Paulo de la Peña, si Alvir Inocentes pang Okada lang talaga sa Metro. Hindi kaya pag hindi home court. Chinge, tama po ba ang total chips? 33.4 million, average stock of the 24 players is 1.4. Yes, yung nakalagay, 1,382 ang average stack. As far as the total chips in play, yung 1,339 i-times mo lang ng 25 kasi ang starting stack is 25. Eto, action between Joseph Talamayan and the original racer, Carlos Cortez. Both players hitting their kicker, the deuce for Joseph for the bottom pair and 3 for Carlos for the mid pair. Carlos will fire. His continuation bet, of course, Joseph will peel off a street here. I think that call will make Carlos probably check his. Oh, that's not gonna stop him. He's reaching for his chips, so he might fire a second barrel here at the turn. There you go. That's a big bet. 250, almost half the pot. Oo, Doc Jerry, talagang ganyan kasi naka-default sa software natin. Pero kung yung total play sila, makikita nyo do sa upper left yung number of players remaining. Right now, it stands at 24. Yan. Kung makikita yung maliit na box showing the tournament clock, you can see on the bottom right the current number of players. Stand now at 24. Brian Monterde, shoutout po sa The Command from Cavite. And shoutout to my friend from Norway, Terje Morgan. Yeah, shoutout from Metro Club. Chinge, unfortunately, na-out si Tata at 27th place. Na-out siya, 27th place. Jeric Medina, champion, is set to take home 1 million, 1.3, if I'm not mistaken. Carlos Cortez, now with a better hand than the previous that he raised with, is now holding ace-jack suited. He raised it to 110. Pakundo, out na ata, parang hindi ko napansin. Parang out na. And Martin Vega, 3-bet shove with 7-6 suited. Unfortunately for him, even though he's suited, it has the same suit as Carlos Cortez and don't look now, Joseph Talamayan with the ladies. Aid Herbacio, si Ron Ryan Messina out na din. Nandun na sila, naglalaro ata ng Bounty Tournament. Yun yung side event that's happening right now, Bounty Tournament. Joseph Talamayan with the ladies. And he will four bet. He will four bet to 450,000. I think that's enough for Carlos to let go of his ace jack. At mas lalong mahirap ngayon for Martin Vega to avoid elimination as he is up against a made hand pocket queens of Joseph Talamayan. Martin Vega all in for his tournament life. Ooh, look at this flop for Martin Vega. Suddenly, nagkalaban na Martin flopping open-ended straight draw and a flush draw. 10 outs for him. The 9 does not cut it. One card to go. Will he get it? No, he won't. So Martin Vega bows out of the tournament at 23rd place. 23rd. Ayan, end of the line for Martin Vega. Edward Dainla nag-start. Actually, itong main event is play to ITM. So lahat ng nag-survive ng elimination days, in the money na sila. 188 kanina ang tumawid at may premyo na yon. The minimum price was 10,000. So we're down to let's see. Kasi nabago yung count ng remaining players. Hindi pa na-out si Martin Vega. So tingnan natin. Ayun, natanggal na siya. So we're down to 22 players. Mga kaibigan, pag bumaksak ito ng 18 players, titigil na po ang tournament for today. At yung 18 players will just come back tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to play. Carl Cortez, 22 players. You can see it if you project this live stream from your cell phone to a bigger monitor. You will actually see on the upper left the tournament information like the prize pool, the average stack, the blinds, and the number of players remaining. And Renato Pacaira is all in under the gun with ace-9 off. Gutsy move for Pacaira and good timing as nobody has the hand to look him up. Jasper David. Suited paint cards. Raise it to 100,000. Pocket 6 for Anthony Castro. These are the made hands that, for me personally, I find it hard to three bet with. I normally just set mine with this hand. But Tony Castro fired a three bet, a re-raise to 250,000 against the open of Jasper David. Revo David, shoutout sa'yo ang paparating. And Revo David is railing for fellow Villarista AJ Akdal. Wow, Carlos Cortez with ace queen suited, but he is facing a three bet already from Anthony Castro. This is a tough one for Carlos. Normally, an ace queen for a lot of players is a fold against a three bet. But this is a light three bet by Anthony. Jasper David opened with to 100,000. Anthony just three bet to 250, 2.5x over the 100. And there's the fold by Carlos. I don't blame him. An ace queen is an automatic fold. Yeah, most of the time when you're faced with a three bet. So it's back to the original racer, Jasper David. And Jasper will make the call. Jasper actually is one of those sticky players that you can find. Flop is ace high. Jasper checking it to Tony. Tony firing his continuation bet. That ace actually is within his range of hands that he can three bet. And Jasper not being speculative with that hand. Immediately folds after Anthony Castro fired his flop bet. Tomorrow ang live stream natin final table na. Masyadong mahaba kasi kung sisimulan natin sa last 18 players. Final table na. So at least ito, dito sa live stream natin ngayon, yung mabibigyan ng lahat ng chance na mapunta sa TV table. Kasi magro-rotate tayo eh. After this level, after level 27 pala, 2 levels kada meses. After level 27, magpapalit tayo ng mga players sa TV table. Anthony Castro. Joseph Talamayan. Aces for Ireneo Havala. And the question is here. He shoved with ace jack off. He shoved with ace queen. Will he shove again with aces? He's up to 13 bigs. And instead of shoving, he is just racing with aces. He raised it to 125. Queen 10 for Rene Pacaira. King Jack for Jasper David. And knowing Jasper David, he'll probably gonna play this one. Yes, he does. He makes the call. And Ireneo flopping top set here. There are two diamonds. Another diamond on the turn can be very disastrous for Jasper dito. Jasper will probably make the call as he is given an inside straight draw. He will make straight if a 10 comes out on the turn. So that's reason enough for Jasper to call this bet by Ireneo as he does. And this is what I'm saying. This can be disastrous for Jasper. The 6 of diamonds on the turn gives him a king high flush draw. Unfortunately, it's drawing dead because Ireneo is holding the ace of diamonds. And Jasper bets immediately met with an all-in from Ireneo. Only 365 to call. Parang sa laro ni Jasper, baka kulin niya to. He might refuse to believe that Ireneo is holding the ace of diamond. Pero remember, it's Ireneo who opened the action here. So easily he could have that ace of diamond. Kaya yun ata ang pinagdidesisyonan ngayon ni Jasper. Ano yung isa-shove mo sa turn sa board na to so far? And Jasper David making the call. So now Ireneo is all in for his tournament live. Only 2 outer for Jasper David. 10 lang siya mananalo. Not even the 10 of diamonds. It's a 7 of diamond. Both players getting their flush. Unfortunately for Jasper David, the king high flush is not good enough against the ace high flush of Renato Havala. And Jasper gets hit. He's now down to 805,000. All right, so it's a double up for Ireneo. David Lavay Jr. is liking that play of Ireneo with his aces. Jasper David. Folded to him at the small blind. Against AJ Akdal. Both players with queen high hand. And another possible hand that Jasper might bleed for as he flopped a gut shot. And AJ Agdal with an open-ended straight draw. Jasper leading out a bet of 80,000.
6-7 all. Apo. Turn card.
So a possible flush is
Bet.
on the board right
170
now.
total. 170.
And Jasper
Apo.
continues to fire. Can AJ still find a call here?
6-7 fold.
No, he won't. He gives up. And Jasper David somehow recovering some of the chips he lost to Ireneo Havala earlier. There you have it, the current chip count.
Yes, sir. 6-10 fold.
Okay, this is just a 14th hand. Again, mga kaibigan, hindi po ito final table. Featured table lang ito ng day 2 natin. The main event, final day will be tomorrow, Monday. It starts at 2 in the afternoon here at the Metro Card Club. Pero ang live stream natin bukas sa final table
6-1
na.
fold. 6-5 fold.
Okay, ito folded kay AJ Akdal at the small blind. Another blind versus blind scenario. AJ making the call. A3 off for Tony. And both players will see the flop here.
Flop. Check. Sits number 7. 9 check. Check 7. Check 9.
And both players opting to check. AJ trying to trap Tony. Unfortunately for him, Tony hits nothing. So AJ will have to contend himself with
Bet.
just the blinds.
120. Apo. 9 fold. Ah?
There's the current chip
Lights out
count
na
of
boss.
these players.
Lights out na lang. Same team dealer na tayo. Ito, tunghan na to, boss. Mag-stage dealer ako. Okay, go.
And we're down to 20 players, mga kaibigan. If two players bust out, then it's gonna be the end of day 2, and we will resume tomorrow with the 18 players. That's usually how it is with major tournaments here at the Metro Card Club. Of course, that's where you are watching this live stream. Metro Card Club, home of Philippine Poker Champions. And sabi yan, Joven Huerto, the hardworking marketing manager of Metro Card Club, is inviting everybody tomorrow for the last side event of this week's Metro Walk to a Million. It's called The Closer, aptly named The Closer, with a buy-in of 5,000. And tournament tomorrow starts at 3 in the afternoon. Alvin Madrid, hindi pa final table ito. Featured table lang. Ang final table nito mangyayari pa bukas. And Carlos Cortez opens the action with Queen Jack, Jasper David with Ace King, and he 3-bet shoves over Carlos. And it's back to Carlos. I don't think he's gonna call with this hand. Carlos is sitting at 1.8 million in chips. Jasper now at 1.3. And two players in this table with over 2 million in chips. That's Anthony Castro and AJ Yakdal. Alvin Madrid, lagi naman madaming tao dito sa Metro lalo na ngayon. Day 2 at meron pang side event na nangyayari, yung Bounty Tournament. Okay, another Queen Jack for Carlos Cortez. Will he do the same again? Open at this spot with his whole cards. Ayun, raise ulit si Carlos. Raising it to 130. And Rene Pacaira with pocket nines. The problem with this for Rene, although it's a hand that he should probably 3-bet with, two considerations. It's an open from under the gun and there are a lot of players behind him to act. But Rene deciding the nines are good enough to put his tournament life on the line. And so far, no one is looking him up. And Renato Pacaira, or Rene Pacaira, is one of the tournament grinders that people profile to be in the tighter range. And Carlos Cortez knows that. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is folded back to Carlos, that he will likewise fold this hand. Against a 3-bet shove from Pacaira. Ireneo. All right, Ireneo folded his hand back to Carlos. It's also another fold. So, two consecutive raises ni Carlos Cortez dito. Tawag namin yung mga grinders, yung dalawang layup niya, parehong supalpal. And that's the current chip count right now. 20 players remaining for day 2. That's 20 players out of 1,339 entries total. Alam mo, yung ganong sunod-sunod na race na masusupalpal ka, it can really, affect your confidence. playing. All right. Under the gun for Rene Pakaira. King 4 suited. Rene deciding against it. Jasper David also not inclined to play those Broadway combo at an early position. AJ Akdal with suited ace high. He will raise this one. Okay, he raised it to 120. Tony Castro also letting go of his hand. It's Joseph Talamayan's turn now to act. He's facing a raise from AJ Akdal and Joseph letting go of his hand. Ireneo, who recently just doubled up, but he's got ace 10 off. O, tingnan natin. Anong ginawa ni Ireneo dito? I think he just made the call. Yes, he does. At a small blind. Carlos Cortez can actually string along here. That's a nice hand. 10 jack. Ano ginawa dito ni Carlos? Carlos squeezing this. He 3 bets. Oh no, he just made the call. Okay. Sorry about that. He just made the call. And these 3 players will see the flop. And it's trip success for AJ Akdal. AJ will hide the strength of his hand. He bets 90,000. And Ireneo is planning to see the turn and hope that one of his cards hits it, not knowing that that could be disastrous for him. And that's what we're saying. Ireneo hitting his ace on the turn. Full boat for AJ. And that might make Ireneo overplay his hand. He's thinking, good na yung alas ko. But if he reviews it, it's actually AJ ang nag-raise nito. So pwedeng alas din kay AJ. And AJ bets 120. Ako, mukhang nag-raise pa dito si Ireneo. Yun ang sinasabi natin. Disaster na to. So there's the raise. Now, Ireneo's stack is less than 1 SPR1. AJ, with a little bit of Hollywood, he knows that he wants that remaining 745 to go into the middle. If he's convinced that Ireneo is no longer folding, then he can shove here. But if I'm in the spot, I'd just probably flat this. Kasi advantage pa siya ng posisyon dito. So a little bit of Hollywood for the billiard pro. Now with that Hollywood, I don't think siya babalikan pa ni AJ to. Flat lang si AJ dito. There's the flat. And I wouldn't be surprised knowing how Ireneo plays. I wouldn't be surprised if he jams the river regardless of what comes out. There's the 7. And there's the shove by Ireneo. And a snap call by AJ. That's it. End of the line for Ireneo. That's the problem of floating. Pwede na siyang tumapon sa flop but he opted to call to try and hit his hand on the return. And that's exactly what happened. And AJ Agdal now up to 4 million. End of the line for Ireneo. Busting out at 20th place. So officially, bubble time to, mag-hand per hand to, together with the other two tables.
Dapat na video ko eh. Sayang no, best actor eh. Pwede mabilis. Pwede dyan, pwede. Hindi, pare, yung pagkakaliling mo, nabi, ang tangin na yari kasi tapo. Pagkakaliling niya, alam ko ang woods eh. Ako, pinilagay ko full house packet 8 yun. Okay, easy. Dalawa na lang. Anit ka. Kung tangin na, hindi ka pala bilyarista. Artista ka pala.
Ayan, nagtatawanan yung lamesa. Sabi ni Jasper David, hindi ka pala pokerista, artista ka pala. Pero actually, kahit na, knowing how Ireneo plays, kahit siguro wala yung Hollywood ni AJ, ganun pa rin ang mangyayari. With that check raise ni Ireneo, at sa laki ng chinek raise niya, papasok talaga yung remaining stack niya sa river.
Meaning na gano'n, sabi ko nababa na yung dito pa. Sabi ko full house. Full house o ano.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. Chopping na lang siya actually.
Puta na yung mga taya pa. Puta na ayaw pa ayawin. Ayaw pa ayawin. Banda yung sa flash throw eh. Hindi, iniisip ko po pag na-packet
So,
hit pa siya, grabe talaga.
big stack now for AJ Agdal.
Wala mga tapon pero kung na-packet hit siya, napakamalas ko. Pero walang ano? Baka kasi ni folding equity pa, may kalahating milyon pa. Baka bubble tayo, ano pa lang.
Hand per hand na tayo kasi 19 players, 18 lang ang tatawid bukas sa final day. So we're officially on the bubble.
Hindi sa paglalaro ng poker.
Kaya tayo ngayon.
Ano na ba?
5 fold. Doon na. Sit 7
Isang
fold.
apir mo dyan.
So one player to bust out at matatapos tayo.
Sabi ko, bayad si tatay. Sabi ko, bayad si tatay. Sabi ko, bayad si tatay. Yari.
As Anthony Castro
Raise 130.
with pocket threes.
130.
And he raised it to 130. And Rene Pacaira with ace queen off. Baka i-overplay na ni Rene tong ace queen niya. And just shoved with. There's the all in by Rene. He quickly announces all in. Anthony Castro asking for a count. Si Anthony sa pagkakakilala ko sa laro nito medyo wide talaga, relatively wide ang calling range ito. But given the situation right now, malaki pa tong ino-all in ni Rene. Palagay ko hindi ko call dito si Anthony. Because he'll be risking a big chunk of his stack.
Ba't daw ang laki?
And silang lahat merong profile ni Rene dito. And there's the fold by Anthony Castro. So, good shove for Rene. Kasi kung nag-raise lang si Rene, baka sure ako call si Anthony Castro doon. There's the current chip count mga kaibigan. We are on a hand per hand situation here kasi 19 players remaining for day 2 at play down to 18 players lang to our last two
First
tables.
up po, seat 7. Fold seat 7.
Napapunta jump dun sa mga yun, kaya hindi na umabot sa big blind.
And hand number 19, another Ace X card for Anthony. Expect him
Nine raise 130.
to raise here.
Yes. Seat 9.
Joseph Talamayan.
Fold seat 10. Seat 3.
Carlos Cortez with 8-6 suited.
Fold
Diyan
seat
ako na disgrasya kanina. 8-6 suited. Rene Pacaira with Jack 3 off.
4.
And Jasper the Bead with pocket fives.
Player 5 all in.
At all in ang ibinanat ni Jasper. Wow, gutsy shove by Jasper David. Parang alam na alam niya yung hand ni Anthony Castro. Considering na early position din yung race na yung open ni Anthony Castro dito. And just to guide you, nakakita tayo ng tatlong kulay ng chips sa ating tournament table. Yung white chips, those are 5,000 chips. The gray ones are 10,000 chips. And the pink ones are 50,000 chips. So a stack of pink, that's about 1 million.
First up, seat 9.
Ano
Fold.
ba ako? 95.
Seat 10. Fold seat 10. Seat 3. Fold seat 4.
And this is hand number 20.
Up.
As Rene Pacaira folded to him at the button. He's not even gonna take advantage of his of that position with those hand with that cards. 9 deuce. King high for Jasper. At the small blind.
Raise 140. Seat 5. Seat 7 on you.
Against the 8-6 of AJ.
Fold seat 7.
Ikaw natin.
Seat 7 po.
And we're still at the bubble. Kaya po hindi ko mapapansin nyo, hindi umaandar yung tournament clock. Pagka ganyan na hand per hand, for every hand, 2 minutes ang ibinabawas sa oras sa ating tournament time. At sabay-sabay na nagdi-deal
Okay na? Okay na.
yung ating mga dealer.
Tapusin natin to din. First up, seat 9. Seat
Tapos
10.
na? Meron na?
Ito. Seat 5.
JR Mirano,
Seat 10.
good evening sa iyo at shout out. Suited connectors for Carlos. Not interested to play that. Jasper David at the button with ace high. He can raise this one,
140.
or he'll probably raise
140.
with ace high at the button.
140. Yeah, 140.
So Jasper raising it to 140. AJ Akdal with queen 9 off.
6-7.
AJ thinking if,
Three race, 440.
ayun, yun na nga ang ginawa niya.
440.
He raised it to 400,
Split 9 fold.
440.
65.
And now it's Jasper's turn to tank, but I don't think he can call that. And very perceptive play for AJ Akdal. He is sure using his big stack to push his opponents out of the pot, as shown there by that 3-bet against the button race of Jasper David.
First to ang C3.
Okay, so we go to hand number 22.
Fold.
Folded to Jasper with ace 5 off.
130.
Race, 130.
At titira ulit dito si Jasper, raising it to 130 again. Eto, kahit may ace 7 off na dito si AJ, parang ang hirap na i-3-bet niya ulit dito si Jasper.
Fold, 6-7.
Kasi inulit na, pero ito mukhang panay ang tapak ni Jasper sa mga 3-bet. Ito, sure na 3-bet coming from Anthony Castro, holding pocket kings.
400.
Race, 430. 430. Split 9 on fold.
And Anthony Castro, 3 bets to 430. Tapon na naman dito si Jasper. O baka magmatigas ang ulo niya. At laruin pa rin niya to. Pero this is a tough one to continue. Wow, he did make the call. This is a big pot. Wow. Eto, ang laki ng stack ni kanina ni Jasper. Pero sobrang tapang niyang lumaban.
First to ang C4.
And he missed it completely. He's gonna check, and Anthony with a mandatory bet here because coming from a 3-bet pre-flop. But of course, he's wary of that queen.
150.
He fires 150,000 bet. Jasper with a call.
Verso up.
This might go check check. Baka i-check call na to ni Anthony.
$404.
Anong ginawa dito ni Anthony? Anthony, not faced with that flat by Jasper. Bets 400,000. Kinalahati na niya yung stack ni Jasper dito. At I think baka hanggang doon na lang si Jasper. Kalahati ng stack niya ang itinaya ni Anthony. Jasper.
Fold.
And Jasper making the fold. Palagay ko crucial yung oh no. That akala ko sa turn na. Turn bet pa pala to. So anyway, big pot going to Anthony Castro's way. He's now up to 3.1 million in stack. Just coming in second to AJ Akdal, who's got 4.2 million. Jude Yaranon, shout out to you watching from Qatar. Qatarman Leyte. Tama ba?
Mark
Watching
one
from
up.
Qatar.
Meron pa yata. Wala pa. Floor. Floor. Sir Mark. Verso up. Fold.
This is hand 23 of the second day of the 5 million guaranteed Metro Walk to a Million. It's happening right now here at the Metro Card Club, home of Philippine Poker Champions. And we are bringing to you with this live stream that was subjected to a 20-minute delay just to preserve the integrity of this live stream.
Sit.
So it's folded down to Anthony Castro at the button, 9-7 suited.
Sit 9.
And Tony raising it to 150. The current blinds, 30,000, 60,000. Big blind ante of 60,000. Joseph finding a fold there. Carlos Cortez with ace high at the big blind. Carlos Cortez at the big blind, contemplating on whether he should defend this ace high. Let's see what he responds with. And I think Carlos just made the call. Yeah, so they'll this heads up this two players are gonna see the flop.
Verso up.
And open-ended for Anthony Castro. Mid-pair for Carlos. Expect Carlos to peel off another street here as we expect Anthony to make a continuation bet. Yes, he does. He bet 100,000. Carlos can peel off on one more street here because he actually hit 16.
Race. 300.
Oy, Carlos racing it to 300. But Anthony is on an open-ended straight draw. So that's not something that he will fold.
Call.
Anthony making the call. Pot now is about a shy under 1 million.
First to act.
Turn is a 4.
Check.
And Carlos checking. Tony should take advantage of this check and just bet hard here. But he opted to check behind.
First to act.
And he's gonna miss this.
Bet 200.
Eto. Carlos Cortez leading out with a bet of 200,000. Yung window ni Tony doon sa turn eh. When Carlos checked that turn after racing the flop. Had Tony B read that race as just a probing race, pwede niya na take down. Shoutout sa iyo, Monching Serrano. Isa sa pinakamasipag na dealer sa Metro. Ayan.
Lights, please.
Shoutout sa iyo.
Wait ah.
Alright, still 19 players remaining. Play will stop when we reach 18 players. So this is bubble time for those who will qualify for the final day tomorrow.
Fold. Sit 5.
AJ Akdal with the pocket queens. Shoutout natin. Hit the hit. Former US OP and Poker Dream champion. Wendell Balanza. Shoutout sa'yo. From Lower Antipolo. AJ racing it to just 2x. Folded to him sa hijack. Anthony with Jack Deuce suited. And Tony picked the wrong timing to make a play here. He just 3 bets the queens of AJ. Tony should realize that as much as possible, you don't make a play against a person that has a big lead over everybody or the chip leader of the table. But Anthony Casher's not really gun shy with these types of plays. Jude Arasa, shoutout po kay Gabriel Lucas Pacaira, apo ni Rene Pacaira. Shoutout to you, Gabriel. Eto na naman yung Hollywood ni AJ Conte. Kasi malamang ilagay na niya sa all-in dito si ano. Uy, teka lang. He just makes the call. Okay. Wow. And just like that, Tony B Flopping treasure there.
200.
Trips. Si AJ na ngayon biglang magbabayad sa kanya. Kaya mas gusto ko, shinav na lang ni AJ yung... pero kasi ang laki rin ng stock ni Anthony. But anyway, that's just me. I would as much take down a board. So eto. Aray ko po. And Tony. Betting small sa flop. Look at that. Expect AJ to bleed some here
Not good.
as he is up against the only player who can pose a serious threat to his stack, and that's Anthony Castro. Anthony with 2.1 million, AJ with 3.8.
Call.
AJ making the call.
First to ang 7.
Turn is a 7. AJ checks it again to Anthony. Anthony. His turn to do some acting here. And tanking, of course. Making sure he squeezes the maximum he can get for this monster flop for him. He bets 350.
Call.
And once again, AJ makes the call.
River. First to ang
River is a king. Hopefully, that's something that AJ can use as an excuse to let go of this hand. But I doubt it. I wouldn't be surprised if AJ leads out here. Tingnan natin kung magkano ang ipipiga dito ni Anthony Castro. Ayun. Ni-lead out nga ni AJ 1M. Wow. Disaster talaga for him. Pero at least sa laki nung lead out niya, baka hindi na siya ma-all-inan ni Anthony dito. So baka in a way, nakatipid na siya ng 700,000. Nako, Doc Lorenzo Puig. There's the call. There's the call by Tony. Ayun, ilagay mo nang nakatipid si AJ doon ng 700,000. Kasi kung chumek siya, at baka shaban siya ni Tony, eh baka makol pa rin niya. So baka napaganda na yung lead out na yon. na 1 million. Doc Lorenzo Puwig, early out po tayo. Nag-raise ako ng 6-8 suited kanina. Na-flat ako ng aces. Ang flop, ace 6-4. Tumama din, turn, tumama yung pang 2 pairs natin. So shoot tayo
Sa Perip Lab.
doon sa naka-top set ng aces.
Hindi rin lap, natapon na to. 100% na.
So that's a big hit
Perip Lab,
against AJ Akdal na
oo nga, ang dami niya.
kaka-double up lang kanina to 4 million.
Pwede ka naman. Aces King siya eh.
Now is Teen King.
Siya eh. Lagay ko na nga siya sa Aces tsaka Ace King eh. Inano ko lang, inassume ko na lang yung Jack eh.
Ayun, sabi ni AJ, nilagay na niya with the 3-bet pre-flop. Nilagay na niya sa aces or ace king si Tony B, which is indicative. Medyo hindi niya kasi nakakalaro. Wala siyang masyadong table time against Tony B or Anthony Castro. Sana nga, Doc. So now it's Anthony who's at over 4 million. Sabi ni Dado Ranada, shout out to all Pinoy Pokerista of Singapore. Eto, Joseph Talamayan with the Cowboys this time. He can opt to trap with the Kings if he's familiar with how wide the racing range of Tony. But Joseph making sure that he isolates to a heads up. He 3-bets to 500,000. Rene Pacaira with pocket sevens, but considering the action, I would guess that Rene will let go of this pocket sevens. There's the fold coming from Rene Pacaira. And Anthony Castro will he call? And there's the fold by Tony B. Sabi ni Carl Christian Cortez, shoutout sa tatay ko. Si Carlos Cortez, siya ang nagturo ng poker sa akin. Alright, and of course, he's hoping na ang iyong tatay ay mag-qualify tomorrow at umabot sa final table. Alright, Jasper David. Wendell, hindi pa to final table. Featured table lang to. Kasi lahat ng major tournament ng Metro, ang final day niya is always Monday. So ito, play down lang ito to the last two tables, which is last 18 players. Currently, nasa 19 tayo, so isa na lang ang tatanggalin at matatapos na tong day 2 ng Metro Walk to a Million. Bukas ang magla-livestream tayo sa start ng final table. AJ Agdal na tinamaan kanina ng halos 2 milyon. Now he's got ace 10 suited.
Race 120 total. Yes.
Tony B is a big blind, will defend that. This is pala a blind versus blind situation. So round 2 para dito sa dalawang players ito. At ito, baka medyo makabawi ng konting chips dito. Oh no, sorry. Actually, Anthony outflopping AJ dito. Tumama yung tres ni Anthony. So, expect him to call whatever flop bet na gagawin ni AJ dito. Unfortunately for AJ, it's the right caller but the wrong suit. Tatlong spade yung lumabas. AJ bets 115. Nako, mukhang dumadakot ng pink chip si Anthony.
300.
At mukhang gusto niyan tapusin kagad to. He raised to 300. And that's gonna be tough for AJ to call considering wala siyang spade dito. For all you know, he might be drawing dead already. And AJ will let go of his hand. Tough one for Akdal, as Tony seemed to be getting the better of their heads-up collisions here. There's a current chip count. Again, we're down to 19 players ngayon. And we're on the bubble, so hand per hand. At isang player na lang ang tatanggalin at matatapos na po ang ating day 2. Rob Chan, shout out kay Crisia Chan. I love you daw, sabi ni Rob. Brian Bandada, I think live pa si Bart. Si Bart na lang ata ang natitirang player from Team De Camps for this main event. Pero hindi ako sure. Kanina nung nagsimula, yung tatlong table nandun pa siya. Not really sure ngayon. Carlos opening the action, raising it to 150 with King 10 off. Everybody's folding behind. So if Anthony can 3-bet with Jack Deuce, can he 3-bet? Naku po, eto. The second pocket kings for Joseph Talamayan. Good thing for Joseph is getting the right cards at the right time here. Table is short-handed, so maybe he can consider trapping here with the flat. But I don't think Joseph is a fan of flatting with big hands. So expect him to 3-bet with pocket kings. Yes, he 3-bets to 600,000. I would have considered flatting here to maximize what you can get. So there's the fold by Carlos. Joseph probably doesn't really want to be too creative with his big hands. You know, sometimes when you get creative, you end up being the one paying. So he doesn't want to see what happened to AJ Akdal happen to him. AJ getting his queens cracked by Jack Deuce. Pocket sevens for AJ Akdal. Erase it to 120. And suited connectors for Anthony Castro. Expect him to play this one or even three bets with this hand.
300. 10 po.
Yes, he does. Three bet. Ace 10 back to AJ. If their previous hand was any lesson for AJ, he might consider overplaying this hand, but the problem is only has pocket seven. So really tough to overplay your hand with that. So AJ making the call. And now it's his turn to flop a monster. He flopped bottom set and hopes now that Anthony hits the ace. But Anthony has a gut shot. Medyo wet tong flop na to. When we say it's a wet flop, madaming draw na pwedeng mangyari. So AJ might just decide to take this down at this point. Pero hindi rin advisable kasi yung kung may flush draw, hindi rin tatapon dito.
400. Total.
So AJ check raising to just double. Sisilip dito si Anthony, that's for sure.
Turn card.
Sisilip siya at least hanggang turn.
7 check.
Now the king of clubs completes a possible flush draw or straight draw here. Unfortunately, Tony did not hit. But the question is, and it's an action stopper already. And look at that. Oh my God. In so many ways, this hand can go wrong for AJ Akdal. Tony Castro sucking out a straight here. Lahat na ng pwedeng range ni Tony na itinawag kay AJ, andon, posibleng may G's. But AJ will still lead out here.
560. Call. Call siya.
Bet 560. At wow, flat call na lang ang ginawa ni Anthony kasi may possible flush na. And look at that gesture by AJ. Too frustrated kung anong nangyayari sa kanya against Anthony Castro. Parang bawal siyang manalo dito kay Anthony. Imagine flopping a set and losing to the run out. And Anthony continues to pile up his stack here.
Di-raise ka ng 200.
AJ. Actually, ang laki pa rin nung taya ni AJ. That's a one card straight already. Baka mas nakatipid siya kung chumek call na lang siya o kasi may possible flush naman. Kita mo hindi na nga nakabalik si Anthony. So parang ill-advised na yung river bet ni
Raise 150.
ni AJ doon. Ang maganda sana, okay lang yung bet eh. Kasi para ano, ang babalik lang naman sa'yo doon is definitely yung tatalo sa hand mo. So I think betting a smaller amount will have he will still get the same result that he wants kesa yung medyo malaki yung bet niya relative to his stack. Anyway, we continue. Anthony Castro, not yet finished, continues to dominate this table.
Magkano 60?
That's an option also, Danny D. As Danny is saying, pwedeng in-overplay na niya yung flop. But the problem is, napaka-wet nung flop eh. Kasi kung may flush draw, hindi rin tatapon. Baka yung straight draw lang ang mapatapon mo. Which was the case for Anthony Castro. But then it's really hard. Easy for us to say because we can see the board and their hands. But when you're in that spot, it's really hard. Anthony Castro with ace-9 off. He might continue racing and grinding this table. Raise it to 150. And Jasper the Queen 7. Nobody wants to tangle again with Anthony Castro, seeing how the cards have seemed to be favoring him right now. Anthony up to 6.4 million in chips. And the closest that anybody is to his right now is Joseph Talamayan with 1.9. Again, you're watching the featured table. Hindi po ito final table. Featured table of the main event of the 5 million guaranteed Metro Walk to a Million, the fourth major tournament for the year 2024 for Metro Card Club, and Tony Castro with pocket nines under the gun. Card rush for this guy. You're watching this live from the Metro Card Club, home of Philippine Poker Champions. We are located in Ortigas, Pasig. Joseph Talamayan with suited connectors. He can play this one. He can make the call and see the flop with suited connectors. But opted not to. Carlos with ace suited. Pag kanong kaka-dominant sa lamesa, that's how you affect your opponents on the table. Hands that they would usually play, they might not do it against you. But Carlos is not shy to make a play here. He's thinking you can't probably have that many good hands. So he 3-bets to 400,000. And it's folded back to Anthony Castro. If my guess is right, given how I know the game of Anthony, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes up with a 4-bet here. But of course, it would depend on how he perceived the gameplay of Carlos is. There's the 4-bet. Yan yung sinasabi ko eh. That's how tough to play against Anthony when he's got a big stack. He 4-bets to 900,000. He has the stack to do that. He looks at the stack of Carlos, putting him in a push or fold situation here. Wrong timing for Carlos to make a play against the chip leader. And there's the fold. And the last 6 spots all going to just one direction. That's to Anthony Banal Castro. Still 19 players remaining. All right, this is hand 33 of our featured table. Jasper David
400.
with Queen Jack suited.
495. 495.
He just goes all in. And AJ Agdal also goes all in. And Anthony actually is ahead, but he can just smile. I don't think he's going to call with King 4 off.
King ka din eh. Kings ka. Parehas.
So they can only smile, AJ and Jasper, seeing they both have the same cards. Only the suit can win this for either of these two players. Jasper actually is the one in danger of busting out as AJ got him covered.
Parehas lang. Kung pumul siya, tatbukol ka sa akin. Bukol talaga eh. Buti nga, pasalamat siya, kaya kita eh. Wala kang outs. Bawas ang outs mo. Mas gusto mo ba siya yung kumul? Hindi, sapag ko kapag kung kumul ka, kukul siya 100%.
All right, there you go. Flop is 9 high. And only a runner clubs can win this, and it's definitely a split pot now. As there probably is another all in a call in the other tables.
Yun na lang niya ako pangit. Akala ko aces sa ace king, kaya tinayahan ko yung river kasi flat ako sa flat, tsaka ito yung pwede siyang tumakbo, may ace king siya, aces yun, di ba? Ano no? Set na ako sa rami, talo pa ako, di ba?
Okay, you're probably looking at, and we hear some clapping. That would mean, if my guess is correct, yes, there's a player that busted out in one of the outer tables. So we're down to 18 players. Kaya mga kaibigan, tapos na po itong ating day 2. Last 18 players coming back tomorrow to play the final day, which will play until we crown a new champion for the 2024 Metro Walk to a Million. So we're gonna end our live stream coverage ngayon and everybody, last 18 players, tomorrow we invite you to join us for the last side event also. That's the closer. It has a buy-in of 5,000. It will start at 3 in the afternoon, while itong main event will resume at 2 p.m. And we will bring you the live stream of the final table. Final table na po. So in behalf of the men and women of the Metro Card Club, I am your caster, Jester Intia, nagsasabing maraming salamat, magandang gabi at mabuhay ang manlalarong pokeristang Pilipino. See you tomorrow.
Welcome to the Metro Card Club.